The thing that I like about what Ty is saying, though, if you listen and read a little bit between the lines, there's a lot of guys now that are playing significant minutes where he's not guessing with guys. We talked about this before the game, Stan. Yep. The young guys who are going to play 14 to 16 minutes, and they're going to be asked to do one thing and one thing only. Go out there and play defense and make hustle plays.
Yep.
And do not, if we have a lead, do not lose the lead. Yep. If you can, build on it. If we are down 7, 10 points, make sure it doesn't balloon to 20.
Yep.
And in the last couple of games, those guys have gone in there not to score and not to show what they're capable of doing. They've just played with great effort. They've come out of the game and they've said, okay, Kawhi and James, you guys go do what you can do. And that's been enough in these last few contests to the tune of 4 straight wins for this basketball team.
They score 112. With 5 points from the bench.
I was gonna get to that.
You pointed that out earlier when we were sitting upstairs. 5 points from the bench, but it helps when you got 2 guys who combine for 83.
Yeah, I covered the screen and I said, Stan, how many bench points? And you said, I think you said 18 or something like that. And I just held up 5 fingers and you couldn't believe that that's how dominant the starters were for tonight. And again, that's not a sustainable thing. Obviously, Kawhi having a monster game, the franchise record tonight, big. But in terms of just the role, to be asked to do those things, those are very controllable things for guys who are young to come off the bench to contribute to the hole that the Clippers are in. Ty just said it. It is a massive hole. And if you find yourself in a hole, stop digging.
You know, in the beginning of the season, if you looked at this game on paper, you would say, oh, man, it's going to be a good matchup, a contender in the East against a contender in the West, and it hadn't played out that way for the Clippers. But Detroit comes in here, the top team in the Eastern Conference, and the Clippers control the game from the start. The Pistons never led in this game, and you add it up, it's a 112-99 win for the Clippers, their 4th consecutive win as the Clippers are on a roll, and they start a 5-game homestand with this win. We're back with more on a spectacular night from Kawhi Leonard, tying the franchise record with 55. More in just a minute. Best win of the season for the Clippers so far, 112-99 over the Pistons, who came in leading the Eastern Conference at 24-7. We talked about Kawhi Leonard with the 55 points, ties the franchise record. James Harden with 28. So 2 guys combined for 83, but then there were some other contributions, perhaps a little bit more subtle, but they really mattered. And that starts with Nick Batum, who's in the starting lineup tonight.
In the starting lineup, and we've talked about Brook Lopez helping create some space. Well, the idea of another 3-point threat on the floor that knows exactly where to be, feet set, hands ready. Nick Batum's going to do that. He's going to stretch out, be in those corners, be ready to drill 3-pointers tonight. 4 of 8. He played 30 in the game against Portland the other night, comes back tonight, has a little over 31 minutes. Ty was joking around about Nikola being maybe a little fatigued, but big buckets for him, secure buckets for him in the first half. And I pointed this out to you, Stan, about Batum this year. And I don't know. I'd love to get on this shot diet that Batum has. But at this point in the season, Nick Batum has taken 118 total field goal attempts.
And how many are threes?
And right now 112 of those are 3-point shots.
Hey, he knows his role.
Only 6 others for Nick Batum so far this year, but doing a great job in the last 2 games. Like I said, between him and Lopez, stretching out, creating the space for James Harden and Kawhi Leonard to operate is paying some dividends.
So Batum tonight with 12 points, had just, I believe, 3 points last game, but plus 57 when he's on the floor. What does that tell you about what he's doing?
Well, this is all about positioning and knowing his role. I mean, he literally can be in the right spots. He understands the sets that are happening, how he can be a weak side help defender, just to be in the right areas and not make mistakes. Even if he's not the guy making the stop, even if he's not the guy getting the steal, he's in the right position so that the other team still has to fight to try to gain advantage on plays where normally they think they have something going. Batum and that kind of experience is paying dividends for Ty Lue and the coaching staff.
We talked about the job they did on Cade Cunningham, particularly in the first half. He went scoreless in the first half, did wind up with 27 points for the game, all in the second half. But what did they do to him defensively to frustrate him?
Well, first thing that happened was what we mentioned about Chris Dunn basically being inside his shorts for the first 6 minutes of the game. But then Cade did something that we've talked about as long as I've been around basketball, and that's foul trouble. And as soon as a player gets into foul trouble, it starts messing with your head. And now you can't be as aggressive. Now you can't find your offense. Cade got a couple of fouls early on. They had to pull him out. He ended up with 3 fouls for the game, but it still disrupted what J.B. Bickerstaff does in terms of how he uses Cade, how he plays with him downhill, how much he can be on attack. And then it takes away all of Cade Cunningham's ability to be aggressive on defense, which is actually something he does quite well. He guards 1 through 4 and he switches. Well, you get foul trouble, 1 or 2 fouls. You're switching on to Kawhi Leonard, who's red hot. All of a sudden, now Cade Cunningham is flustered and frustrated, could not impact the game at all in the first half. That gave the confidence to the Clippers for sure.
What I really liked about it was the toughness embodied in this performance tonight against a team that prides itself on toughness.
Well, again, this team, Clipper team, is starting to play with some confidence, and it's starting on the defensive end. I just don't think they're giving up the easy baskets or teams coming down and scoring on 6 out of 8 possessions and kind of decimating them to the point where a 17 or 18-point lead is going to require a ton of work. Now what they're doing is working on defense, playing better offense because they're playing at their pace. They're getting a lead. And this is a team with the kind of veteran players that they have can play a little bit better and more comfortable with that lead. I think that's what we're seeing in the last few.
Yep, they got the lead tonight and never let go. You know why? Because Kawhi said so. Kawhi Leonard ties the Clippers franchise record with 55 tonight, a new career high for him. We're back with more in just a minute. This reminder, every weekday on FanDuel Sports Network, catch Golic and Golic at 12:30. Father and son bring you bold takes and welcome in special guests. And then stick around for Countdown Live presented by Prime. You might recognize the host. It's me. We'll get you ready for an evening of great sports action. 2 big shows back to back. All the sports you need all in one place and only on FanDuel Sports Network. The Clippers with a 112-99 win over the Pistons tonight. Next up, Sacramento Kings Tuesday here at Intuit Dome as the Clippers continue a 5-game homestand. What are you looking for Tuesday, Brent?
Well, don't let go of the rope here. The Sacramento Kings are struggling. We know they have some star power, DeMar DeRozan, Russell Westbrook, Zach LaVine, all coming home to Southern California. Make sure that it doesn't feel like home when they come into this building when they go up against this Sacramento team that's struggling right now.
That is Tuesday night, tip-off at 7:30. We'll be on the air with Clippers Live pregame at 7 p.m. All smiles tonight here at Intuit Dome and some history. Kawhi Leonard, 55 points to tie the Clippers franchise record, and he leads the Clippers to the win over the Detroit Pistons. The final, 112-99 for Brent Barry and our entire Clippers Live crew. Stan Verrett saying good night from Inglewood.